What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and share this video, because today, we're diving deep into one of the most explosive stories shaking South Africa right now. A storm is brewing on the streets, in the neighborhoods, and across the townships, and it's not just about economic hardship or political instability. It's about identity, borders, and a radical movement demanding the mass deportation of illegal foreigners. Two names are at the center of it all: Operation Dudula and the rising force of March and March. Together, they've sparked what many are now calling a mass deportation uprising. And if you thought things were tense before, buckle up, because this is a powder keg ready to blow. From the smoky rooftops of Hillbrow to the busy markets of Diepsloot, the cry is getting louder: illegal foreigners must go. That's the chorus echoing from angry crowds led by Operation Dudula and March. These groups, once considered fringe elements, have now taken center stage in a fiery national debate that's no longer confined to political discourse. It's spilling violently onto the streets. With burning tires, blocked roads, and neighborhoods being patrolled by mobs demanding identification from everyone who doesn't look South African, this is not a protest. It's a crackdown, raw and unapologetic. March has been dubbed the militant twin of Dudula. While Dudula popularized the strategy of confronting migrants and closing shops owned by undocumented foreigners, March has gone further, organizing military-style drills, spreading nationalist slogans, and preparing its followers for what they call citizen-led enforcement. The message is clear: if the government won't deport illegal foreigners, they will do it themselves. And they're not asking for permission. What's driving this? Many supporters say they're tired. Tired of unemployment. Tired of crime. Tired of overcrowded clinics and overwhelmed schools. And they believe that undocumented migrants, particularly from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Nigeria, and Malawi, are the ones to blame. Our people are starving while illegals are getting jobs, opening shops, and flooding the streets with drugs, shouted a Dudula leader during a rally in Soweto that drew thousands. He was met with roaring applause, not fear. The mood has shifted. What was once whispered in frustration is now being screamed with fists in the air. But let's be clear, this isn't just about policy or immigration control. It's about raw, boiling rage. And in the absence of firm leadership from the top, that rage has found its own direction. Police presence during these so-called operations is inconsistent at best. In some areas, officers accompany marchers, silently walking beside them as they storm homes and demand papers. In others, law enforcement turns a blind eye altogether. Reports have emerged of beatings, looting, and threats, while some foreign nationals have had their homes torched or their businesses trashed, all under the watch of a crowd cheering like it's a national celebration. The government's response? Tepid. President Cyril Ramaphosa, already juggling the fragile GNU alliance and growing tensions within the ANC, has issued only vague calls for calm. He's condemned violence in all forms but hasn't directly confronted the groups leading the charge. Some analysts believe he's afraid to lose the support of South Africans who have found a sense of empowerment in these movements. Others believe his hands are tied by political compromises. Either way, his silence is deafening. And it's being interpreted as permission by the mob. Meanwhile, migrants live in terror. Families are packing their bags. Some are fleeing to churches, shelters, and even sleeping in the open to escape neighborhoods where being foreign is now a crime. Children born in South Africa, who've known no other home, are being chased like intruders. Pregnant women, mothers, students, no one is safe when suspicion alone is enough to get you attacked. And it's not just the undocumented who are in danger. Legal immigrants, asylum seekers, and even South African citizens with foreign-sounding names or accents have been harassed and assaulted. International organizations are sounding the alarm. Human rights groups have labeled this a humanitarian emergency. The UN has called on the South African government to ensure the safety of all residents, regardless of their status. But the warnings are falling on deaf ears, and the images continue to shock. A group of young men kicking down doors in a flat block in Pretoria, shouting, "Let them out. We'll find them," while terrified families cower inside. A Malawian man burned to death in a shack while trying to escape an angry crowd. A Somali-owned spaza shop looted in broad daylight while police stood by. The fuel behind this fire is more than frustration, it's orchestrated anger. Social media is flooded with posts from Dudula and March supporters, sharing locations of suspected foreign-run shops, organizing flash mobs, and even encouraging violence in coded language. WhatsApp groups have become coordination hubs. Telegram channels spew daily propaganda, and Facebook live videos show raids like their reality shows. It's a digital army feeding a street war. What's more alarming is that politicians are starting to flirt with the rhetoric. Some local leaders have openly endorsed the message, even if they distance themselves from the methods. A few have gone further, promising stricter immigration policies in the next elections. But where does this end? When politics embraces mob justice, democracy dies in the dark. Let's be honest, South Africa is no stranger to xenophobic violence. We've seen the riots before. We've buried the victims. But what's happening now is different. It's not just spontaneous rage, it's organized purging. And it's gathering momentum. March has announced plans to expand its presence to every province by year's end. Dudula is working on a national database of suspected illegal foreigners. They're not backing down. In fact, they're preparing for something bigger. If the world doesn't pay attention now, it may be too late. This is not just a South African crisis. It's a Pan-African tragedy in the making. Because if one country starts burning bridges with its neighbors in the name of nationalism, others may follow. And when that happens, the dream of African unity dies, suffocated by fear, ignorance, and the politics of hate. So to every viewer watching this, wherever you are, wake up. What's happening in South Africa is not just news. It's a warning. Share this video. Speak out. Don't look away. Because if silence fuels the fire, then truth is the only thing that can stop it.